Hi, I'm Sean Waterman and you're watching Cyberscoop TV. Today we're here on the exhibition floor at RSA, the greatest show on earth. And I'm joined by Peter Galvin and John Grimm from Thales, e-security, a big encryption firm. Can I start with you, Peter? What are you doing here? What's your pitch at RSA?
Well, we're here to talk about cloud and cloud computing and the issues around security around cloud computing. So at the show this week, we're actually made a number of announcements allowing us to be able to secure and encrypt data as it goes into public clouds. So we actually have a multiple set of offerings. One of those offerings is the ability to bring your own encryption key to either Amazon, Google, or Azure and be able to manage that key on-premise. We also made some other announcements, including the ability to do key management as a service. So if you don't want to have a device on-premise to manage your keys, you can do that as a service, manage those keys as a service, but separate from the cloud provider. So the objective there is to give control of the keys to the enterprise, but encrypt the data in the cloud. So, John, talk to me about trends that we're looking at right now. IoT is big. What's the encryption play there?
Well, one of the things we see is a lot of enterprises are struggling with how are we going to connect all these devices and be able to get the data in from them and do something useful with it. So the root problem there is authentication. If you can't trust the device the data is coming from, you can't trust the data, then everything else you do in the IoT doesn't really matter. There's no point in collecting it, analyzing it, or trying to take an action based on it. So what we see now is a lot of enterprises are looking back at good old public key infrastructure and digital certificates as an excellent way to go about identifying and authenticating those devices. The problem is traditional PKI doesn't always fit, especially with devices that are a bit more constrained. So we're seeing interest in elliptic curve cryptography, something that's a little lighter weight, still has good strength, shorter certificate chains. But then again, some devices won't even be able to handle a certificate. So there's a broad authentication problem across the IoT that we're looking to help customers address.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you guys about, excuse me, was if I'm a customer, how do I differentiate the sizzle from the steak? How do I tell that a product is does what it says on the box?
Well, we see a lot of folks, especially with encryption, kind of wondering what is the impact encryption going to have when they deploy it. They know they need to protect their data. Encryption does a nice job of wrapping around the data, so to protect it wherever it goes, but what's the impact going to be? Is it going to slow things down? Is it going to get in the way of analyzing the data? So what a lot of folks are looking for there is transparency. How can I make encryption seamless and easy, not look like it's there, and handle all the dirty work? And a lot of the dirty work is key management, managing the keys that are actually used to encrypt the data. How do I make that easier for the customers, not have to deal with the pain of managing a whole bunch of keys, help them do that in accordance with their business risk and their business rules.
Well, that's great. Peter, John, thanks very much. You can find more of us at cyberscoop.com or on our YouTube channel.